Madison, Wisconsin is as good as it gets if you are like me and you love the college sports.
This is the Jump Around with Jim Rutledge and Pablo Iglesias, streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Dancing down the sidelines, and they catch him now! The Badgers answer instantly.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
Gordon again! Inside the 5, touchdown! What a performance by Melvin Gordon!
Chucky Hepburn, Big Ten on the line! Yes!
Legacy cemented! The 2021 Badgers will go down in history as the first ever at Wisconsin to win a national championship.
That is the best college sports town in America.
Welcome into the Jump Around, a Badger-dedicated show here on ESPN Madison's YouTube stream. You can stream us back with the ESPN Wisconsin app. Jim Rutledge with you in the Everlight Solar studio. Pablo Iglesias, whereabouts unknown. Fella, share with us where you're at before we get into the show.
Yeah, guys, excited to be here. Didn't know if I was going to be able to call in. I'm at the Asian American Journalist Conference out in Seattle. Gonna try to make sure I mind my space out here because other people are working. But so I will try to not be super loud. But let's be real here, guys. I'm excited that football's back. Excited that the Badgers have kicked off camp. So yeah, a lot of great stuff here going on at the conference, and had to make sure I snuck in some time to talk some Badger football as we get into the jump around this week, guys.
Yeah, we're going to talk some Badger football. We're going to play some video clips here and react to them as we lead into our interviews, which are brought to you by Steinhoffels with Vinnie Anthony, Riley Malman, and Daryl Peterson. We were all out at Badger Media Day, but I ended up having to leave before Vinnie, Riley, and Daryl were available, so I'm excited to share the interviews that Pablo and Riley did with those three key Badgers. That's coming up in a little bit, but let's get to it.
I think just the combination of talents that we have there presents us with and there's going to be a theme about a lot of the positions, and really what I would say is true of our offense right now at most positions. We may not necessarily have that guy, and we know who that guy is because he's coming back from X numbers of years of experience or carries or catches in some cases. But the collective strength of the group, I think, is really strong. And their willingness to work together and cheer for each other is something that I've been really impressed with. And the challenge with that is, okay, we got a number of guys that we think can play. And so how do you give ample reps to each guy and still feel like we're able to see what we need from each guy, and we've given each individual an opportunity to prove what he's worthy of in this season or even game one. And so that's a real challenge, but it's a good challenge. I've been in some cases where we didn't have anybody that I liked. And so we've got several backs that I like, and that's a really good thing.
That was Jeff Grimes talking about the running back room for the Wisconsin Badgers. We're talking about Darian Dupree, Dylan Jones, Cade Yakimelli are the three names that are going to come to mind. All capable players, Pablo. What I like here is that I think the skill sets for these backs are different enough that I think they all can kind of carve out a niche for themselves. Darian Dupree, to me, is honestly, if you almost went with an NFL comp, it's off the top of my head, and maybe this is the Bear fan in me, but like a DeAndre Swift, where a guy who can be explosive on certain plays, but honestly might be great in the passing game and in that situation more than, and I'm talking running routes, not just screens and dump-offs. I mean, an actual explosive, another pass catcher there for the Wisconsin Badgers and Dupree. Dylan Jones seems like the workhorse back there, that he can be the guy that is going to be a little bit of everything. And then, again, I'll kind of continue with my Bears. There was a former Bear who played at Ohio State, Raymond Harris, and I believe his nickname was the Ultraback because he kind of did a little bit of everything. And he played for the Bears as well. And I think Cade Yakimelli could be the Ultraback for the Wisconsin Badgers, someone that You need 3 yards?
Can we
Great.
trademark that?
Right. Let's
the ultra back. I like that.
Mark it down,
like
Riley. I'm calling it right now. Cade Yakimelli, the ultra back for the Badgers. Someone who if you need 3 yards, he can get you 3 yards. You need a big run, he can break off a big run. You need a great pass block, he's going to get the pass block for you. You need a screenplay, great. And it might be one week he gets 100 yards and is the star. The next week he might not do anything but block. And then all of a sudden, boom, 2 weeks later, he's another key big-time player. And I think having someone like Yakimelli who can kind of just get in where he fits in and be the back the Badgers need in and around Dylan Jones and Dupree, I think it's going to be great. So I think these 3 backs, Yakimelli, Jones, and Dupree, I think their skill set's going to work out well, and I think Jeff Grimes is going to have a good time figuring out how to get them to play together, and also Badger fans will have a good time watching this offense running the football explode. The one thing I am confident about this offense, and maybe it's foolhardy confidence, is I think this team's going to run the football not like the Melvin Gordon, Monte Ball, James White, but they're going to run the football, and it's going to look like how the Badgers looked in their heyday of 2,500 total yards on offense on the ground and 25-plus touchdowns for the running backs. And I think this is the group that's going to get it started for them.
Yeah, that's what excites me the most. Luke Fickell had pointed it out last season. It felt like the Tawi Walker had really taken over the room last season, and he had even pointed out that if we want to stick with the hot hand, we want to stick with the hot hand, which I get. Yes, you do want to stay consistent if the one running back starts to take off versus the other, but I'm not saying everybody needs to have the exact amount of carries this upcoming season, but I think if anything, it excites me because of the versatility, because the different tools and skill sets that each running back has, to your point, Jim, is like, yeah, you've got Cade Yakimelli, who is strong, and we saw him at Squat Fest put up over 500 pounds on that squat rack. So we know how strong of a runner he is. We know how strong of a runner Dylan Jones is, and we know that. I love to use the word slippery for Darian Dupree. I saw him as a high school kid. This kid was making acrobatic catches, too, and I do agree with that DeAndre Swift comp there. So I think this is super fun. It's super exciting to know that Jeff Grimes hopefully can use this versatility and use these how diverse these running backs are to his advantage, because I'm, again, just so excited because of the skill set that each of them bring. They're not one and the same, and I think that's going to complement each other. So in contrast to how last season went, yes, Tawi Walker was great. It was fun to watch him, but it just felt like that he took over that room, and it was really just him, because the other side of it, too, is that when you utilize these running backs to their full potential, that just means that this offense is no longer one-dimensional. Because let's look at it. Even though, yes, you want to stick with the hot hand, and it was Tawi that really ran away with it. The Badgers, if they were facing a team that really understood how to get to Tawi Walker or he was injured, then the Badgers became one-dimensional. The fact that they have 3 of these guys that they can run, that 3-headed monster, that Monte Ball, Melvin Gordon, the James White eras, like where they had just one guy after the other where they could build off of each other. I mean, I think that's how can you not be excited to know that you have that many weapons in the backfield?
All right, let's see Luke Fickell here talking about the wide receiver room for the Wisconsin Badgers.
He's doing a great job, and it shows when you see the competitive nature of his group. There's a lot on those guys. This is a new offense. I mean, obviously, a lot of those guys have been here since January, or have gone through spring ball and some of the walkthroughs and things like that. But you're always trying to evaluate on their preparation, and then you try to evaluate as a whole on that group. What's the competitive level, right? What's the competitive spirit? And you can say, well, if you got great players, it doesn't really, those guys are the ones who are going to play. I think what he has done is established some competitive nature in there that, hey, there's a lot of new things we're asking wide receivers maybe to do that they hadn't done, whether they're new here or even in the last 2 years. And that just might be line up closer to the line of scrimmage. That might be tight formations. That might be, some play action, some cracks, anything. But continue to see a buy-in, a competitive spirit. I know it's day one, but for the last 8 months, it's been impressive.
High praise there from Luke Fickell. I'm glad to hear it's been impressive. He's talking about wide receiver coach Jordan Reed and the job that he's been doing, adjusting to the new offense that Jeff Grimes is putting in. And there's talent there. Vinnie Anthony, to me, is someone that is a draftable wide receiver. I think he is someone that, just ballparking here, could be a 5th-round pick. Maybe he goes higher, but he's someone that's going to be draftable wide receiver. Jaden Ballard is a complete long shot, but it is a strategic long shot. He hadn't had the success at Ohio State. We're all hoping that's because he was buried on the depth chart, which I think is a fair hope. And so there's a reason for optimism there. You got Chris Brooks. I'm excited. Obviously, Tretch Kahuna, when he's fully healthy, will be great. Kyan Barry Johnson, possibly. Eugene Hilton, a young player there, is someone that I don't know if he will be an impact player year one, but it wouldn't completely blow my mind. But if you just went with Vinny, Jaden, and Tretch, like that's a good top three, and then we'll see who kind of cracks the depth chart after them.
Well, of course, I'm excited for Jaden. I'm excited for Vinny. We've gotten to talk with him a lot this offseason. With Vinny, there seems like just an enhanced sense of confidence. He's always come off as a confident guy. He blew up. I'm not saying he came out of left field necessarily, but there were a lot of big plays that he made. I mean, I go back to this, and Riley, I want to know what your reaction was, too. I know you walked into the field. You didn't get to see the Vinnie Anthony play at USC, but I remember watching that, too, and it was like that was huge. And I think that started the catalyst for Vinnie Anthony kind of being this big play guy as a wideout. But let's not forget about Tretch Kahuna, too. And Jeff Grimes even talked about it a little bit, how out of all the guys that he had to recruit, Tretch was actually the first one. Even though he was Wisconsin, Tretch actually put himself in the portal before the Jeff Grimes hire. And so Grimes was talking about how he had to re-recruit Tretch Kahuna. He saw the tape, and he had said to Luke Fickell, are we missing something? Like, why is this guy not on our team? Why is he in the portal? And Fickell really wanted Grimes to go after him and say, like, you love him. He's an exciting guy. So I just really want to put out Tretch Kahuna because last season, too, I mean, that guy balled out. I think he hardly had, like, 6 catches and almost surpassed, like, came close to 200 yards because he had such big explosive plays. He's fast, he's elusive, and he's crafty. I really would have loved to have seen how he and Will Pauling complemented each other. Fortunately, it didn't work out last season, but, man, I think, again, as you said, Jim, Jaden Ballard, Vinnie Anthony, and Tretch, that's a lethal combination. And hopefully Billy Edwards is now the guy that really puts him in the best position to perform.
Yeah, Pablo, you brought up that play against USC from Vinnie Anthony. It seemed like that was really V8's coming out party where it's like, oh, this guy's got some speed. And then he had some great catches against Purdue, made some plays against Oregon, I believe. Vinnie Anthony's going to be fun to watch. And one thing, we know Vinny's going to be great. We know Tretch is going to be great. Jeff Grimes at Media Day said that Tretch seems poised for a breakout season. A lot of players said that too. I think Vinny, maybe in your exclusive one-on-one interview coming up, Pablo, with Vinnie Anthony, I believe he might have mentioned that. Then you got Jaden Ballard and Grimes, which I'm super excited about, said that Eugene Hilton Jr. is probably going to see the field this season. This wide receiving core may be the most overlooked group on this Badgers team. They could be really, really special this season under Jeff Grimes' new offense. I'm very, very excited to see what they do.
I mean, Jim, I want to turn to you and ask, like, the excitement for you. I mean, we've always known Wisconsin's RBU. We've heck, like even Melvin Gordon, former ESPN Madison intern of ours too. We know how explosive he was when he was back. But to ask you, I mean, how excited are you for this wide receiver room? Has there really been any bigger hype like surrounding this wide receiver room since you've been around the team?
Yeah. I mean, not to be rude, but like these guys are all like possibly. Vinnie Anthony is the only one that's got any real pelts on the wall. I mean, when you're talking about rooms with like Nick Toon and Jared Abadaris and then Kyle Jefferson is kind of like, honestly, all these players, and I like Kyle Jefferson, I think he's a good player, like they all kind of have that sort of like, that's what they've done so far. But when you're talking Alex Erickson, like you would have years, and Jeff Grimes kind of talked about this, where the thing that's working against them is guys, they come back year after year. And so, but when the Badgers had David Gilreath, like they were loaded up with like they weren't NFL talent, but that were incredibly talented college football receivers. So, yeah, I'm glad to see the receiving room starting to get back to where it was for a little bit. When you have like Travis Beckham, and then you have I believe Nick Toon, and then you had Jared Abadaris on that team, and then Gilreath and Isaac Anderson, Jeff Duckworth. Like those teams were loaded with a bunch of more proven players, but in the recruiting area, I understand the excitement about it. I want to hear Jeff Grimes is excited about everything as well. Before that, though, Badger Connect, I think, first had this story with Tretch Kahuna, how far gone he was. He was packed. Stuff was either shipped or on its way being shipped back to Hawaii. And this all came back out, I think, yesterday because Tretch talked about it, but it was initially written about with Badger Connect that Tretch was gone. And they basically had to beg him and maybe had to rebook his flight to come in and meet with Grimes and Fickle to come stay around. So it does speak to I look at it as like a lack of ego for Grimes. That he was like, look, I look at the tape. This guy looks like he can play. Not technically my recruit, but I want to win, and we need this player. So I loved it, and I think it speaks to the coaching staff putting aside their ego. Let's get to Jeff Grimes and talk about his excitement.
I think just the combination of talents that we have there presents us with, and there's going to be a theme about a lot of the positions, and really what I would say is true.
That was the first clip. Let me pull up the original or the correct clip.
I'll start there.
Well, this is we get to it. Pablo did ask this question, and this is basically we can talk amongst ourselves a little bit before the clip when it's ready there too. What we're thinking about here is, what are you most excited about regarding fall camp? What do you hope to learn? This is the last cut on the offensive side of it for the Badgers, and we'll get to Mike Tressel on the other side, but because he had some good things to say. And I think this team has the right vibes, kind of speaking about that with Jeff Grimes when he was standing behind Cade Giacomelli. And I know we put this out on ESPN Madison Social, asking a goofy question of Cade. And as he ended, I believe Patrick Herb mentioned that, hey, the offensive players are there. They have a hard time limit. Or I didn't say offensive players. So there's some players there. They have a hard time limit because they're going to go work out. While Jeff Grimes was talking, they kind of stopped after Grimes said a few things. And Jeff Grimes said, well, Cade's the only one worth talking to. He's the only offensive guy there, which was kind of fun. And then he also then went over and had a little bit of fun, asking a goofy question of Cade as well. And we all love Mark Tauscher here on the jump around. And I kind of said this. I forgot who I was talking to. Might have been my normal producer for Jim, Matt, and Molly, weekdays here 4 to 6 on ESPN Madison. Jeff Grimes gives off vibes similar to Tauscher. If Mark Tauscher was an offensive coordinator,
yeah, I see that.
I would say Jeff Grimes gives off Mark Tauscher vibes, which I mean as an immense compliment. And I think it's no nonsense, but they understand they got to play modern football. They understand they got to connect with the players. They understand that they got to play within the rules that are the new setup, even if they're old school throwback guys. They understand that, look, that's not how things are done anymore. We got to update the offense, update these things. And are we updated on our video yet? Right.
We should be. Here it is.
I think just the combination of talents that we have there presents us with, and there's going to be a theme about a lot of the positions, and really what I would say is true of our offense right now at most positions. We may not necessarily have that guy, and we know who that guy is because
this is the wrong one again.
This is the clip we had going forward. So
years of experience or carry.
We'll pass on this clip, so why don't you get the Tressel one ready, and I'll just ask you, Pablo, and we kind of touched about it as well, so we can kind of talk a little bit more, and then when we have the clip ready from Tressel, we can move on. It sounds like the wide receiver room is what you're excited about here with the Badgers offense. I'm excited about the running back room because I think it'll make the passing game palatable, but I think the running game could be upper echelon in the Big Ten.
I mean, I would have to say, if I were to power rank this, I would actually want to believe that the running back room is what I'm most excited about, to be honest. Just because, again, the versatility and the fact that we've always preached over the years that we want to see Wisconsin utilize multiple weapons. And I think the other thing, too, that I've just sensed, and it just feels like it, and even from Luke Fickell's standpoint, this is my take, is that I love the fact that what I saw right off the bat in his first interview after fall camp, the first practice, is that Luke Fickell looks like he is smiling from ear to ear. It's not like that he wasn't having fun these last 2 seasons, but something just from we'll use more of a current generational word of the aura that Luke Fickell has right now. It feels very loose. It feels very cool, calm, and collected. Everybody's excited to be there. Everybody's on the same page. You could just at least sense it from the locker room. You could just sense in general that overall everybody feels like that. Again, they're on that same page. I feel like to what you were saying too of the Tausch comp to Jeff Grimes is that, yeah, I'll put it this way. Jeff Grimes just feels like an absolute dude. What I had said to Riley, actually, when we were walking out of the media day room, or when we were walking back to our car after the media day interviews, I'm like, in a way, maybe this is just me. I feel like there's almost Big Lebowski kind of energy where it's it's just kind of a let loose kind of guy. He's no nonsense, but he gives it to you straight. but he's also very relaxed about it too. You mentioned the social clip out there where he's commenting on Cade Yacomelli's facial hair. Apparently that's a trend that's going on too right now. He wants all the offensive players to have fall camp stashes. Like that is something that he's so adamant about. And the fact that, one, he's doing this and creating a fun atmosphere, but he's also making sure that everybody stays on task and does their job. I mean, it just feels like, again, that there's just something different. There's something about that aura. I'll go back to that word where something feels good in the air about Wisconsin football versus the years past where, yes, there is still pressure going on into this season. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's going to be all sunshine and rainbows, but there's just a better vibe versus the last 2 years where first year, yeah, there was some excitement, but there was probably some worries and fears of like, is this going to amount to what it is with Luke Fickell and everything? So I think compared to the last 2 years, this year feels the most loose and ready and prepared coming into fall camp versus a lot of question marks and what the heck is this team going to look like? So, yeah, I guess to kind of like go into that one, I'm just excited overall just based off the vibe that we got on Monday's Media Day.
Let's get to Coach Tressel talking about his cornerback room because obviously that's in the news recently. Let's hear that.
I feel good about our depth, but not as good about Big Ten experience, right? I mean, we have Nazir and Rico that have a whole bunch of Big Ten experience and not other guys that have a whole bunch of Big Ten experience. So talent level, feel good. Depth, feel pretty good. Experience, not as excited about that. That's just being honest.
That's not great, but it's not the end of the world. Nazir, look, the cavalry's not coming for him. I believe he's got I think it's like week 3 of the season. He has now an appointment or a hearing set up with the NCAA, but there is no stay, so like he can't play until that's been decided. So you're honestly looking at like an October at best start for him. So I get the concern there. There's not a lot of proven depth as far as returning Badgers as well. I mean, obviously, Preston Zachman is a good player. We have to wait and see what Matthew Jung is. Trainer at the safety position, but corner, you're looking at what? Hill, Deani Hill, Owen Arnett, Austin Brown. Like, there's not a lot of experience there. Doesn't mean they won't hit, but I get where Tressel's coming from.
Yeah, I wrote down a bunch of notes when Mike was talking, and one of the things that really stuck out to me, or actually really a few things, is how just in general his unit is going to attack adversity. He said that stopping the run was going to be one of the things that they really needed to work on. And that depth and size hurt the team in the back half of the season. And that wasn't just at the cornerback position. That was across the board. So, his message to the group as they go into camp, too, is every instance of adversity, he's going to be looking for signs of resilience. And, yes, complimentary football seems like it's been tossed around like candy, as we've heard through, we've heard from Fickell, we've heard from everybody. But I think how they're talking about what Wisconsin wants to be a complimentary football team, it's when it's eating up the clock, how can the defense help out? How can the defense help out? When to push for urgency? When to engage attack mode? There are those things where it's like everybody knows that it's like, all right, we got to turn this on, but now it's just the application. So can Wisconsin put those mindsets into like applying that into the game mode? So because again, you can preach it all you want, but you got to show it on the field too. So those are the things that like really stuck out to me too. Like especially again with the cornerback room and that depth, it doesn't really feel like that Fort Careens situation is going to pan out. I wish it would. It sounds like that they're still trying to run with and without him just to see. But yeah, we'll like you said though too, it is kind of concerning to just like know that at least he's admitting it, but also like how are they going to work on this in training camp in terms of they don't have a lot of experience. If assuming that, yes, now it's going to be Nazir that's most likely will be out of the mix. How are they going to respond? That's a thing too, where it's like he had said, there's going to be adversity. How are we going to show signs of resilience? So, I mean, we've still got a few more weeks to go. It's very early in fall camp, but how is this room going to respond? And really, how's this whole defense going to respond?
All right, let's get to Mike Tressel talking about, as the kiddos refer to it, as P Vegas, Platteville. I see it on the rundown there, so we'll reference it as P Vegas. And I'm not normally for the kumbaya stuff. I think some of the Brewers like, hey, we're all friends. That's why we're winning stuff is way overblown.
The power of friendship.
No, you're friends and you're in a good mood because you're winning. And I'm not like, and so like that's why the vibes are high is because you're winning games. Now, does that obviously having a good atmosphere does help out, but for this case, in the era of transfer portal, right now. And we'll see what happens if they start losing games. They ain't going to be friends. I promise you that. But they're going to be a lot more conflict. But right now, I think it is important to try to build up true friendships so that if things do get hard, you still kind of have that sort of baseline they build off of. And in the transfer portal era, having manufactured ways to create adversity and then create friendship through adversity, I like the idea of going out to Platteville. Let's hear Tressel on it.
I love the fact that you can sort of shut the rest of the world out and just develop relationships. And Coach Fix actually emphasized to us that we've installed this defense, even with the adjustments since last year. Coach Grimes installed this offense multiple times already. So this Platteville trip is not as much about X's and O's. The techniques, we've already taught them. It's more about the building of relationships, the building of trust. And I think that needs to be an emphasis. So I get to spend time with guys. Our schedule's changing a little bit where we're done a little bit earlier in the evening. So there is time to just grab guys and sit down and build relationships, because how truly deep that relationship is has a big impact on how you respond to adversity, and there will be adversity.
Pablo, I already kind of shared my thoughts on this, so what do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, from being out of practice over the last few years, too, you can just sense that guys really enjoy the bonding experience. They, I think in the one-on-one with Riley Malman, not to tease too much, I just asked about the food, and the guys love that aspect of it, too. I don't know who brings the PlayStation or the Xbox, whatever video games they're going to be with, but it's just a good opportunity, too, like for the guys to get away, just focus on football, and it's not even, again, just the X's and O's of football. It's just growing together as a unit. And even though like they did this right off the bat, it's the third year. This isn't the first year that they're doing this, but we preach that it feels like a different year for Luke Fickell, where it's a lot of his guys that he brought in versus a mix of some guys that transferred in with him from Cincinnati, along with some transfer portal guys. For the most part, this feels like a Luke Fickell and co unit that's coming in. So how do they grow together? How do they bond? I mean, it's like it's pretty cool to get to see the Badgers in a different capacity as well. But the guys talk about it where, again, there's like, they have to almost hang out with each other, or not have to, but they want to. And it's a good opportunity, again, to, when you face those adverse moments, that you guys just grow together. You get to become, as they've said, a brotherhood type of thing. So it's a good opportunity for these guys. And again, from what I've just sensed from what I had seen out of Platteville over the past couple of years, is that they really enjoy the experience over in P Vegas. What was it, as the kiddos say?
All right, let's get to the Wisconsin Twitter portal.
It's time for the Badgers Twitter portal.
All right, guys, today for the Badgers Twitter portal, we're going to start on the West Coast with the Oregon Ducks, as they released their uniform schedule a little while ago, but they left one missing, and the one they left missing was Wisconsin, and they finally revealed it yesterday. Here is that with Big Cat's response. Tie-dye is the theme for Oregon Ducks fans when they will play host to Wisconsin on October 25th. Big Cat, not a fan. This is BS to do against the Badgers. # jail from our friend Barstool Big Cat. What do you guys think about tie-dye? It's to honor the Grateful Dead and a concert they had at Autzen Stadium. How do you feel about tie-dye as a theme for fans at a football game?
I dig it. It's out of the box. The state of Oregon is out of Oregon. Oregon is where I live. Oregon. The state of Oregon is out of the box.
They're going to come after you if you say it like that, too.
Right. The state is out of the box, and I mean that in the best way possible. And you know what? I bet you the vibes will be immaculate. And it's an opportunity for Badger fans. Grateful Red. And so you can show up in your Grateful Red gear. I'm always down for a good tie-dye. I think it's fun. Why not? And look, the Badgers embrace it as part of their Badger basketball identity. So bring it over to football and carry it out west and represent. But why not have a little fun? Do something a little different.
I'm just more of like, and you're not necessarily catering to the team that comes into your house anyway, but to me it just feels random, but also good vibes. Why not? I don't know why. I guess Big Cat necessarily feels like it's BS, but it's a cool theme. It's fun, but I don't know if there's a tie to it. That's just my only thing. It's like, did they just? It was, hey, all right, we're gonna put some notes in a hat and then just pick it out. Here's our theme for the week. Is that how it goes? I don't know.
Well, it wasn't tied to the Badgers, but it was tied to, Riley said, a specific Grateful Dead concert out there, and maybe that fell during that window.
Gotcha.
Or whatever.
I would assume.
Or they don't have any because these conferences are so funky now. They don't have any. So they said, you know what? We have a tie with everyone else. We wanted to honor this thing. This is the game to do it because we don't have anything. So maybe it's an opportunity going forward. They do a tie-dye every time.
Yeah.
Badgers,
Oregon tie-dye rivalry.
I got to ask around because I totally forgot. I'm in Seattle. I'm at the AAJA, Asian American Journalists Conference, and I'm not too far from the University of Washington. So, yeah, I'm in Big Ten country technically now. So I got to ask everybody out here who the real UW is, by the way, which, I got to vote for Madison, of course.
Well, isn't it more of the Badgers are UW and they are UW?
I feel like they still call themselves UW, but that is possible.
Mm-hmm. I remember I got some heat from Badger fans because I referred to a little behind the radio here is that you're doing a sports center or doing different things, and I think this was a Badger Minute, and I had, which is like basically 60 seconds about the Wisconsin Badgers, and you don't want to say Badgers over and over again or Wisconsin over and over again for time crunch purposes, and also you don't want to sound redundant on the air. So I think I said like UW, and then there was a fair amount of people like that's Washington.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that could have been old heads. But, and this was probably, God, I'm so old. This was pushing probably 11 years ago. So maybe it's been more of a thing. But that was kind of how it's defined to me is like, don't refer to the Badgers as UW.
Interesting. Because I remember when Wisconsin won the 2015 Outback Bowl with Barry Alvarez, and they're all in the locker room chanting, UW.
So again, this was probably 2009, so the rules may have changed.
Okay.
When I got my hand slapped for it by a few fans.
Not sure. Well, speaking of the 2015 Outback Bowl team, Melvin Gordon played a huge role in that game, and the ESPN Madison Twitter account had a nice banger this week. Melvin Gordon, here's him talking about the Badgers' schedule this season.
What are you thinking for this upcoming Badger season? Like,
undefeated. I'm going undefeated. Okay,
I don't
maybe.
care.
And if we lose, we lose. But you know what? It is what it is. We ain't lost yet. Everybody's record is 0-0. I'm tired of people talking about my Badgers. I know they putting the work in, and people like, well, this and the coaching and the players and and the schedule. I'm so tired of hearing about the schedule.
Right.
Who cares about the schedule? You got to line it up. It's upsets every day. Have an upset every week then if they feel like you the underdog. Who cares? You know what I mean? Go make a name for yourselves. It's no better way to do it. I'm rolling with the Badgers. I'm down in their corner, and if we lose together.
How you guys feel about that? I love that mentality.
I love the last part. I'm in their corner. If we lose together. I don't think, and that's not on Melvin, I don't think that was the case for a lot of former Badgers over the last few years, and I think that the addition of Grimes and the effort from Fickle and bringing in J.J. Watts of the world and leaning into those things have improved those relations, which I think is very important. And so kudos for the Badger program for doing that, and kudos to guys like Melvin Gordon for putting aside, maybe feeling left out, putting that aside and getting back into being a Badger. The mentality is right. It's actually an opportunity here for me to address. We were talking a little bit about last week the schedules, and I said, give this team some of the schedules the Badgers played back in the day, and they would have more wins. And that wasn't because some people really get in their feelings.
Some
about
people
it.
got mad. Some people were not happy with that.
And I remember I said it in the moment because I just every time it would be more about like the big games. It'd be like, I don't know. I feel like it's a coin flip. Because they haven't played a lot of the big games. That, especially if it was on the road or away from Camp Randall, the Badgers were below average away from Camp Randall against top teams under Brett Bielema. And so that was just kind of a factual thing that I thought people wrapped their brains around. The overall schedule and the amount of wins and all the stats and everything that those players accumulated, as Melvin said, you just play the schedules in front of you. So it wasn't degrading those teams. It was just pointing out like, hey, we can't hold this team to a higher standard than those teams because the schedule's tougher. We just have to allow a little bit of grace when we're talking about the schedule for this team. It wasn't about ripping those old teams. Those are my favorite teams. A lot of fun to watch. And it's not even that they weren't great, but if you're beating up on lesser teams, now you feel like you got a groove going, you got a confidence going, and all of a sudden by the time if you have 4 or 5 games where they're kind of cake opponents and you're able to kick the crap out of them, and then week 6 things start cranking up and stuff gets tougher, all of a sudden you feel great. You feel like we can beat anyone. Like everything is working. Mm-hmm. We've bought in. Like how much more has everyone bought in from players and from fans and everything if the Badgers had won 8 games last year? 2 years ago. And then, and if the players had bought in right away under Fickell and that team had more wins, then that team might have was it Oregon State? Was that the second game they played?
Washington State, right? Yep.
And I said, if they had won that one and then they had another road game and there was this opportunity of, you win some of these and then all of a sudden the players are bought in. And now you feel like you can do anything. They lost those. Then the team didn't get bought in, and everything went sideways. So, to Melvin's point, hopefully the team stays bought in the entire time, and that will matter wins and losses.
Pablo, thoughts?
It's a pure coach speak phrase that I'm going to start out with. But it's true. Respect everyone, fear no one. I mean, it feels like the national landscape is already writing off Wisconsin, saying that they're going to lose every game, and I just consistently keep pointing out that. I look at the 3 games from last season of Oregon, Penn State, and at USC. Unfortunately, the Badgers didn't get the job done, but you know what? On the other side, they were in those games. They were in games that we were all shocked that the Badgers were even in, where they were leading in the fourth quarter against the top-ranked team in the nation, against the Oregon Ducks. And yes, unfortunately, it did not pan out. But the fact that the offense wasn't a great offense and they still managed to keep themselves into the game as close as possible. I feel like a marquee victory is just it has to happen. The odds are just way too stacked in honestly in favor of Wisconsin. I'm not going to say they're going to pull out every single marquee big victory this year against a very tough schedule, but I mean, again, why are we writing off Wisconsin so fast? And I'm not saying us as a unit here, but just more of the bigger landscape. Yes, there is reason to feel a little more pessimistic than optimistic coming into this season because of how the last year has gone, but. Also, I'm I just feel good vibes. Honestly, I think that I've said it. I think they could potentially go into Michigan and shock the world. I don't know if I'm with Riley on the Tuscaloosa upset, but that's where I feel. Where it's again, it's just bound to happen. There's no way that they can just go have a goose egg in that column and just take L after L when they have those opportunities. I mean, it's even at home too when you. Face Brett Bielema on senior night. I feel actually, if anything, that might be another one where I'm really, really high on just because of the atmosphere, of the vibe. This is senior night. This is going to be the last game for a lot of the guys before Axe Week. And it's Brett's return because we remember just a couple years ago that Brett's return to Camp Randall was Paul Chris' final game, and they absolutely pummeled the guys. That was a terrible feeling being in the stands as a fan, watching that game and just feeling okay, maybe it's time to reset. And then just all hell broke loose. So I think there are so many levels to this being a revenge game, that being senior night, and hopefully it's a night game. I think there's just a lot to that where I'm just excited for it. But going to Mel's point, man, I'm again, it's just the respect everyone, fear no one. I love too, and he even flip-flopped saying that, look, if there's only one game that we win, it's got to be the Axe games. He knows very much that you have to take a lot of stock into that Axe game, win the Axe, but there's a bigger picture to it, is that Wisconsin's got to play tough. And, I love, like you said, too, Jim, where he's if we lose, if the Badgers lose, then we lose together. So I love that Melvin is making sure that he doesn't throw a team under the bus. He's a Badger through and through.
All right, that'll do it for the Badgers Twitter portal, but there will be one next week that I'm very passionate about. Stay tuned for that.
I am excited for that. I'm also excited for our interviews coming up with Vinnie Anthony, Riley Malman, and Daryl Peterson. Before that, if you're looking for your best night's sleep, get it with a new Tempur-Pedic from Steinhafels. Experience Tempur-Pedic's advanced pressure-relieving power designed to help make aches and pains a thing of the past. Right now, Queen Hybrids start at just $52 a month with Steinhafels 60-month financing. Plus, get $300 in Steinhafels cash. Upgrade with an anti-snore adjustable base for your sleep for the best sleep you've had yet. Steinhafels is your mattress destination. Shop in-store or online today. This is The Jump Around, a Badger-dedicated show. Our interviews coming up next.
Make the most of your space during Steinhoffel's Small Space Back to School event. Take 10% off stylish, space-saving furniture designed to fit your life and your room. Plus, get 18 months no-interest financing. That's big value on small space solutions. From sleek sofas to compact bedrooms and dining sets, find smart styles that work with your budget. Steinhoffel's is Wisconsin's furniture and mattress leader. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com.
What's poppin', everyone? Pablo Iglesias here with Vinnie Anthony, man, just ahead of training camp or fall camp for you. First off, vibes, how you feeling as you guys get ready to take off?
I'm excited. I can't wait. I mean, camp means the season's here, so that's what I'm ready for. So definitely can't wait to get out there and just be with the guys and be in P Vegas.
Yeah. P Vegas, man. So all the coaches, especially Coach Tressel, I know Coach Grimes is new to this too, but I mean, for a lot of you guys, like, going away and getting to spend time with the guys too, you've been a part of this a few times. How special is it, to start off the first few weeks of the season of camp and get away with these guys?
I think it's very important because it really builds us closer as a team, just because it's like you have nothing else to do except for be with your brothers and stuff like that. So I mean, it's a real cool way to bond and really just grind the whole time. I mean, it's like remember the Titans kind of thing. You go away, you just build a team, and that's the whole goal of fall camp, just to get ready for the season.
What are your goals specifically too?
Like for camp or for the season?
For camp and the season. What are you hoping to prove?
For camp, I really just want I want to feel very confident in our team and knowing that whoever steps in, whoever we're going against, we're gonna beat them. And I want to feel that way going in. If I can feel that way going in, leaving camp, leaving Platte Vegas, shoot, we'll be good, because then we still have 2 more weeks, and I'm just excited. I can't even lie. Personal goals. I just want to make sure I'm healthy, feel great coming out of camp, make sure the body feeling good, weight's good, and all that, and just be good. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not
man.
Explaining. It's just.
There's a big boom potential for for you, and there's a huge talented room, man, for the wide receivers. What are you expecting for yourself? How are you guys pushing each other each and every day?
Every day we come in, we have that killer mindset, and I feel like everybody in our room has that, and I feel like that's a really good thing for the type of offense we have. We're going to be blocking, and we know we're going to be running a lot. Who wouldn't want to do it anyway? You're a receiver, you might as well just dig your head in there and just grind. So it's just, I hope that everybody else feels the same way I do, and just excited to get out there and just keep working, grinding. And the goal for the room is just to be the best unit on the team. That's our goal, just to be the people that everybody can rely on, no matter what happens, no matter special teams, offense, whatever it is, you can count on us.
I don't know if I'll show you the video at some point too, but Coach Grimes was getting on everybody. I think you got a good mustache going on here too. You said that a lot of it
today. Oh my God, it's my first time doing it. I feel so different.
So he said he complimented K. Diacomelli with his facial hair. Is that part of the offensive thing? You guys trying to be like Coach Grimes out here? What's going on with that?
He's saying, let's get these fall camp stashes going. So I was like, I'll do it right before we leave, and me and my roommate Chris, we did it right before we left the crib today. So,
so it's like playoff beards, but more of fall camp stashes.
Yeah,
that's what we got going on.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, you talked about this too. The adversity, and Coach Vick even talked about this over Vegas and media days. Is that you guys already knew what the schedule was going to be? You guys know. If according to Pro Football Focus, you guys have the hardest schedule across Division I. But you know what? Embracing that challenge, loving every single moment of that too.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows what that schedule is like. When you saw that and what this year brings, does it excite you? Does it worry you? Where are you at with that?
I'm excited. That means it's just bigger opportunities for us to show how good of a team we are. We're playing the best of the best, and we're going to be in that best of the best conversation. And I just can't wait to show that.
And then just, competition as a whole, too. What are you guys hoping to prove in this new Big Ten still, man?
We're just proving that we're a school that should be feared. I don't want people to just be like, oh, we're just playing Wisconsin. I want to be like, oh, we're playing Wisconsin. We gotta lock in. We gotta grind. I want us to be that team, and it starts at camp. We gotta build that culture, and that's what the leaders on the team are doing. We're trying to spread that culture throughout the locker room and just have that mindset. We have an opportunity to really change the program, and that's what I want to do.
Vinny, break down the wide receiver room for me. You guys all got different skill sets. Who's who in this room? What are you expecting everyone to be?
Just about everybody's fast. You might not see it, but when we see the catapult times and all that, I don't think there's anybody under 20 at least. Like that might be the slowest is 20 miles an hour. So I mean, everybody's like fast. That's not a problem for like a deep ball, stuff like that. There's just different skill. I mean, we got Tretch is super quick on the inside. Tyrell's real shifty. Joe's tall and can go get the ball. JB's fast and tall and has a crazy range. Chris is strong as everyone. You know what I'm saying? And he also is sneaky fast. I mean, people don't really see it as much, but when you actually like watch him run, he's actually like moving very fast too. And he's just a big, strong contested catch guy. He'll get in there and block. I mean, all of us are gonna block and stuff like that. I can't wait for Eugene to keep growing through camp and stuff. He's already had a good spring, good summer, and
he's coming from a good family too. Yeah. I think he's got some genes over there too.
Yeah, I mean, we have a good mixture of people that are good at their own things, and I'm just ready to see it all flourish.
Last thing before we let you go, who are Badger Nation sleeping on? You know, who's somebody that you think is gonna pop off this year that people aren't talking about enough? This is your chance right here. Can't say yourself either, man. Don't get cheap now. Don't go say yourself.
I'm gonna say. I think two people don't get enough hype. I think Renfro doesn't get enough hype on the media side of things. Like we as a team know he's legit. Like he's the real deal. I'll give you three people. I'll say offensive side for real because
go for it.
I say Renfro. I still think people are sleeping on K because they haven't seen him fully. Like they don't know how good he really is. Like you've only seen like little bits and pieces of it, but when you see him really go, there's still more than what you've seen.
Okay.
And I say Chris Brooks too. I feel like he slept on too.
Gotcha. One more quick thing too before Charles Perkins too. Like I know on the defense side. Actually, real quick though, who's been going up against you? That's what I want to know. Who's in the one-on-one matchups here with who you've been running with? Who the matchups are going to be in camp? Real quick, I want to know who's cooking who. Be real with us.
I'll probably be. If the thing with Nye goes good, it'll be Nye and Rico most of the time.
Okay. All right. What's it like going up against those two guys?
They're both different, but they're both good in their own ways. Rico's super patient, and he knows how to definitely pattern match. He's real good at that, and he's a super smart player. Nazir's definitely got way stronger and faster too, so he's been more physical, and he's actually using it more. And I mean, he has great hips too. He can break down real fast, and they're both just good. They're both challenging, but we make each other better, and our goal is to get to that next level, and we're just pushing ourselves to do that.
My last true question, can you aura farm? And can you do that for us right here?
What you mean by aura farm?
You know what aura farm, because there's a difference of like having aura, but then there's aura farming, which is like that dance that kid does on the boat. So we're going to be asking you and your teammates this.
You want me to dance or something?
Hey, if you can do it, if you want to go for it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The kid on the boat.
And he was like,
yeah. He got it. He's got it there.
Yeah, all that.
Is that gonna be your next touchdown dance?
Somebody told me that, but I feel like it'll be used too much. I'm gonna do something.
Okay, so what do you cook? Okay, he's got a surprise.
It'll be
no button mashing here.
I'm still working on what I'm gonna do. I'm not sure yet, but. It's in the works, though.
Appreciate it, man. All right. Well, hey, thanks for taking one for the team.
Thank you.
Vinnie Anthony, once again, Wisconsin Badger wide receiver. Can't wait to see him blow up. Standing here with Riley Malman. Riley, you guys are getting ready for fall camp. The excitement, the buzz. You know how it goes. Everyone's like, it's Christmas morning. How are you guys feeling ahead of camp?
Yeah, I think everyone's feeling good. Going to Platteville for the third year now, so it's getting a little more familiar for everyone. So it's easier to just kind of tuck right into that routine when you get there and then get things rolling. So I think everyone's excited. A lot of anticipation for this year.
What is it like, too, getting away for those 2 weeks? You know, it's all about, like, brotherhood and bonding, too. I mean, it's more than just football. Coach Tressel was saying that it's not just X's and O's. It is about bonding and getting to know some of these guys, whether they're returning, they're new, all that stuff. What has your experience been like?
Yeah, so, this really cuts out all distractions, and it's really just one team in one place, There's nowhere to run to off at night, go into your room, you have a roommate. So it's a lot of team bonding. It's a lot of thinking about football, thinking about team, cutting distractions is the biggest thing going there.
Okay, I thought I remember guys talked about how good the food was last year. Okay, all right. So what was the best? What were the highlights of the food last year?
Oh my gosh, they cook up something every day. They were very diverse too. I swear they went to every country around the world of their type of food, from Thai food to Indian food to, they were running through the world. So it's really all your preference. They kind of got it all, but I'm always a sucker for some fried chicken or fried chicken sandwiches. They had that. They had make your own pizzas. So, they had the whole gauntlet of food. So, they really don't miss there. There's always something.
Okay, power rank this for me. Your cheat day meals. If you have more than one or if you have one specific. If you could, I'll give you 3. Power rank those 3 for me. What are you going with?
I think a big cheat day for me is always Culver's. That's always up there.
That's a good one.
That's a big one. I'm always a sucker for Taco Bell. That's one for me too. That's
a lot
one
of
for
free
me
pub
too.
out here.
Yeah, I know. Shout out.
Gotta get this man a deal.
But no, really anything. I mean, sometimes we'll cook something up, like just have like a crap ton of burgers or something, cooking up with the guys, Jake Renfro and whatnot. So and the O-line. So
cheat day is still being a chef though. So that's the top one.
You can cheat meal as a chef. Yes.
You love to see it.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe bake some cookies after. That's always a good on top.
You're ready to go. What kind of cookies? We going chocolate chip?
Chocolate chip.
Okay.
Chocolate chip. My true favorite's white macadamia nut, but I mean the standard's you get chocolate chip.
I really should not have done this interview before eating lunch. Honestly, this was a terrible move by me. We're going back to football and the expectations for you guys. Working with Coach Grimes too, man. First off, tell me what's that been like working with him compared to like last season? Those changes. What have you noticed in this group?
Yeah, Coach Grimes has been awesome. I mean, it's really that he's not like with a specific position. He's really free to help coach every position. So you're kind of hearing a little bit from him in like the O-line room. Then he goes to the tight ends, QBs, and he's really sharing his knowledge and sharing the love around kind of the whole offense, which I think helps make it a more cohesive group. So
he also said too, I think he was pointing out to Cade, was the fall camp mustaches or the fall camp facial hair. Was this inspired by that a little bit? Is he holding a competition? I know that he was pointing out to Cade Yakimelli earlier, so I just want to know with where you're at with that.
So Grimes is trying to get everyone on board with fall camp mustaches.
Okay.
But I'm going to get there eventually, but this is not enough for just a mustache right now. So I got to grow everything out a little bit and then cut it back to the mustache. So I'm on board with him, but it takes me a little bit longer. I can't grow it in a week or two like he does. So, I've been growing this out for, a week and a half. So give me another couple weeks and I think I'll be up there with a decent, good enough stash. I love
the loose vibe too that Coach Grimes gives too. What do you think fans will expect, or what do you hope fans will get to see this upcoming fall from this Wisconsin offense?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a fun offense. I think it's going to be interesting how we, the main thing's always the run, and then how we work off the run with play actions, reverses, sweeps, a lot of misdirection, like deep shots to intermediate. So I think it's going to be a fun offense, but it's definitely going to be predicated off the run.
All right. My last question, actually 2 more. Vinny had mentioned too that Jake Renfro is kind of he's a very underrated guy, especially with whether it's media or just leadership and all that. What have you learned from Jake?
No, I've learned a lot from Jake. I've been with him for 3 years now. He's my roommate. So it's really just persistence and hard work, really just, starting from here and always getting to where you want to be through hard work and persistence. So I've learned a lot from him.
Last true two for me, the excitement that Billy brings. Immediately it felt like that he was a leader and took over, took the charge, really just commanded that room in the best way. How important is it that, Billy does that, and, also what have you learned from Billy as he's gotten here?
Yeah, no, I mean, Billy's a stud. I mean, people are looking for someone to listen to, looking for a leader. And when he comes in from Maryland, a vetted guy who's played a lot of great football, so people are looking towards him and listening to him. And I think he stepped into the role great. He's really, he's definitely learning along the way about what Wisconsin is, but, also, he has to push us in a direction. And I think a lot of people are following him. A lot of people are ready to see him on the field this fall.
Give me one word to describe this Wisconsin offense, and why are you going with that word?
One word. I would say it's going to be violent. A violent offense. That's not just from the O-line. That's going to be O-line, tight ends, receivers, running backs.
Do you know that mantra?
Billy will throw his stuff in there every once in a while.
What's that mantra, too? I think it was Jake said it, Billy said it. It's like this whole mantra. Do you know that by heart yet, that whole paragraph?
Yeah,
pretty
much.
Go.
A violent attacking offense that will impose its will on opponents through a violent or attacking run. You can't laugh at me in the middle of it. Violent attacking offense that will dominate opponents through a violent run game, deep pass game, and distortion to dictate terms to the defense.
I love
something like that. I might have butchered it. Grimes is going to be pissed, but
You got some homework to do then. You got to get it down before
Let's cut
kickoff.
that out.
All right, that's all good, man. Riley Malman here, Wisconsin Badgers offensive lineman. Appreciate your time, man. Best of luck this season.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Riley Yauk, ESPN Madison, here with Badgers linebacker Daryl Peterson. And Daryl, you guys are about to head to Platteville, P. Vegas. How are you feeling?
Before we even get started, man, I love your voice, man. You got a great voice for this.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Obviously, it's my third go around going to Platteville, and I'm excited to be around the guys for 2 weeks straight, eat the good food we get there, and obviously, set the standard for what the season's going to be for us.
Yeah, Tressel during the media scrum made a big point that relationship building was a massive part of this time in Platteville. How do you see it?
Yeah, I think just unconsciously, I think we're around each other 24 hours a day for 2 weeks straight. I think just those meal times and those meeting times and times in between practices and things like that are so important to just, I think, grow those relationships, whether it be talking to guys after practice, like I said, at those meals and stuff like that. One of my favorite parts of the whole entire camp is being able to be around guys and talk. And I think I challenge myself as an older guy to be able to get around guys in these times where I wouldn't normally be around.
Yeah. What's it like being a veteran leader now? You're an elder statesman. You've been here for a few years. How's that?
I think that's a big thing. I think just you got to know, like, those 17-year-olds aren't in a rush to get to know you. You got to kind of go get to know those guys. So I think that's been something I've been adjusting with as well, and I've enjoyed it. We got a great group of young guys that have come in, and they've been open ears and closed mouths, and they've been ready to learn. And I think, especially the guys in my room, especially, I think they've done a great job, and I've enjoyed getting to know them.
Yeah. Who's one of the young guys that stands out to you?
Nick Clayton. I talk about him a bunch. I can rave about that guy. Works hard, works super hard, man. Likes to learn, likes to listen. He's very coachable, and he does everything right.
Okay, awesome. Good to hear.
For sure.
And so you've been here a while. You were here last year. And at points, it seemed like maybe the locker room was in a bit of a difficult spot.
Yeah.
And I've heard a lot of the coaches, a lot of players say how much better the atmosphere in the locker room and the vibe is this year. Is that true? And what do you think the big difference is between this year and last year?
Yeah, we got a lot of personality. We got a lot of personality in our locker room, and I think off season, a lot of locker rooms are always going to be good. But when you go through those up and downs of a season, how can we maintain that? That's where leadership guys come in, and we got to be able to uphold that standard and keep the locker room, like you said, throughout the whole entire season, no matter what the season holds.
Yeah, and this year, you have a difficult schedule. That's no secret. When you saw this season schedule, what was your first thought, or how did you react?
I was ready, man. I know, we look at last year, it was kind of no different. Playing those big teams, and it gets you excited. You think about, like, the transfer portal culture and things of that sort. Why wouldn't you want to come play here and play in front of the best fans, get some of the best teams in the country? So I'm excited, and I can't wait.
Yeah, what game are you most excited for?
The first one.
Okay.
The first one. The first one, man. Playing Thursday night. I'm excited for that. It's gonna be obviously night game. Gonna get this place rocking and start the season off right.
Yeah, just ready to get back at it.
For sure, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, you mentioned in your media scrum that you've gotten to know Coach Fickell a lot better this offseason. What's something that maybe the average fan doesn't know about Luke Fickell that you think they should know?
Oh, man. Well, I did learn about him. He went wakeboarding a few weeks ago.
Okay.
He could barely get up, but he did get up on the wakeboard. That's a little fun fact for you guys.
All right. Sounds good. And you individually, and I guess we can expand it to the linebacking core too, but what are your expectations for yourself and that aspect of the defense this season?
Oh, yeah, just body bags, man.
Okay.
I think one thing we learned from J.J. Watt when he came and spoke to the team is we need guys leaving on stretchers. So I think that's a big thing I'm focused on, is being as physical and as making the games as grueling as possible for the other team. And guys should know they played the Wisconsin Badgers defense when they leave.
Damn right. Well, would you say that was the biggest takeaway from J.J. Watt's speech, or what was a cool moment from that?
For me, that was one of the big things. I think because when you think of this place, you think physicality, running the ball, stopping the run. Like that's one of the big things he told us. And I think that was one of the things that stuck to me. Like, he was like, when we were playing guys, like we might have lost, but they knew they played us afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of the things that stuck with me, and that's my challenge to our defense now. Let's get these guys leaving out here in body bags.
That's awesome.
For sure.
Now, what for the team as a whole? What are your expectations?
Man, just giving ourselves a chance to win a championship, man. That's the biggest thing. I think Coach Fickell reiterated that. We've talked about that. Just when it comes down to November, December, we're in a position to where we have a good chance of competing and winning the championship.
All right, sounds good. Now, last thing for you. Do you have a message for Badger Nation out there who's just as excited to see you as you are to start playing?
You guys better get ready, and you guys better get there early, because once we get going, we're not stopping, man. Let's go.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate your time, Daryl.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, thanks to Pablo and Riley for those fantastic interviews with Vinnie Anthony, Riley Malman, and Daryl Peterson. This has been the Jump Around, our Badger dedicated show on ESPN Madison.